Back with Bobby and JJ Radio, talking everything inspection. And if you're a landlord or if you're a real estate agent, you really want to listen up to this portion, because this, I think, what most people don't understand, that Scots can make property managers' lives and landlords' lives a lot easier if they start to utilize this pretty unique type of service that's here in San Antonio. So let's talk to you, Scott, first. How are you able to help agents with their property managers or their investors and property managers with their portfolios?
Well, probably 2-3 years ago, Chris and I met, and we started talking about the concept of rental property inspections, and he was on the forefront of doing it, and we started talking, develop a program where we take that over from the property manager and the broker, and we go out, and the first step was develop a program in which we meet the tenant and actually give them an orientation. So we're actually taking a little bit of time and talking to the tenant, telling them some of the broker's expectations. We're showing them some simple things.
Right.
Where's GFIs and how to take care of the property. Reduces calls, I believe, doesn't it, Chris?
It does.
Wait, I'm sorry. This is Chris Hockhart, which is a fellow real estate agent. We started together at Keller City View, but now he's with Red Wagon Properties and is one of the top 10 actually property managers here in San Antonio. So thanks for hanging out with us, brother.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. I really am. One of the things I was going to mention about Scott's and I's original conversation in creating that inspection was there's a real lack of expertise with property managers. I'm not an inspector. I don't know what to look for, right? So when I'm getting a house back from a tenant, if I miss something, there's an element of liability there where that owner is expecting the property to come back in the same or normal condition as it was when we rented it.
Give me an example.
Well, for instance, we had an owner who had just an amazing property. She left. We went, did the inspection or the walkthrough when the tenant turned it back over. But there was a piece of siding that it had been chewed on by a dog in the backyard. It was a corner of this vinyl siding that had been chewed on.
Sure.
I didn't catch it. I'm not
your job.
That's not my job. It's not what I do. It's not what I was trained in.
Yeah.
And she was just absolutely livid because it could have been warranted or charged to the security deposit. And that's just one example of how that can happen. So we talked.
And the perpetual damage of you not catching that, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, siding that's exposed, house, weather conditions, all that stuff.
Anything. And then what happens when you move in another tenant? You miss something from the first tenant. Now the second tenant has come and gone, and the third tenant's come and gone, and then it's caught by somebody, maybe the owner.
It doesn't even have a dog.
It doesn't even have a dog, and then you can't charge it to anybody because the security deposit's long gone.
Yeah.
So there was just a real lack. There was a gap in the market for that, and Scott and I sat down for probably 6 months and hashed out what would be the optimal property management inspection to add to the portfolio of services that they offer.
Well, is there anything else that you look for? Is it a different inspection or different codes for regular residential?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What are the differences?
Texas is property code. Mm-hmm. So we make sure that
peepholes on all the exits.
Peepholes are on the sight holes, they're not peepholes.
Oh, my bad.
Smoke detectors where they're supposed to be.
Too creepy? Is that what?
Those are for bathrooms.
So we want to make sure that we're protecting the owner from liabilities.
Sure.
We're helping Chris in reducing complaints and service calls.
But for Chris, bro, I mean, this is takes so much weight off of you. That's why I don't do property management, because I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Right. Well, it does take off the weight. It takes off the liability. But
and
the other
service that you give to your clients is way more than
because
now, the other ones.
Now we give an orientation to the tenant when they take possession of the property. So if you're a tenant and you've been told that you will have an inspection within 5 days, and if you don't, you're going to be fined. Now the tenant's like, well, good grief, I've rented other houses before. So their perception of our standard of excellence is already a lot higher because they're required to pay a cleaning fee. They're required to have this inspection before they take possession of the property. So they take better care of the properties.
So this is paid by the tenant?
It's actually paid for, sort of. It's paid for by the owner.
Right.
So the move-in inspection and then inspections every 6 months are paid for by the owner.
So if I was a landlord from somewhere else, right? This is ideal because I'm not going to go visit this property sometimes.
And you bring up something else. If I'm a landlord and I'm somewhere else, do I want my property manager who's paid to take care of my property and tell me everything's going well to tell me everything's going well?
Sure.
Or do you want a third-party company, neutral party, to go out there, inspect the property, and send me a full report with all the photos in it?
So there's pretty much a file that they're keeping up with this house.
Yearly, yeah. So we go out, we do the initial inspection, the orientation. Then every 6 months, Chris has us go out. And we do another walkthrough. the tenant knows that we're coming out.
Sure.
And then every 6 months, as long as that house is under lease, when they move out, we go out and do a move out inspection. And our reporting software compares the move in to the move out side by side. So you got one report. You can move in, move out. And it helps the property manager.
It's seamless.
And also, Chris, it also helps the tenant too.
It does.
Because there's times that we've had.
So he or she won't feel like he got pulled, once over because there's someone that like Scott or Scott's company that's saying, no, we have no dog in this fight.
Right.
Yep. This happened. This is how it looked before, and this is how it looks after.
Well, we've had a tenant say they had something that was charged on a security deposit. We were able to pull an old report and see in the photo that it was pre-existing.
Sure.
So they were able to be protected by that.
So then it's perpetual. They can just say like that wasn't me.
Yep.
So it's a win-win for everybody involved. It's really a very unique program and one that I'm proud to say that we brought into San Antonio.
So for more information about this incredible program for property managers, investors, and everything alike, you can contact Scott's Inspections at scottsinspections.com. Call them at 210-349-9228. Again, that's 210-349-9228. We'll see you next week. Bye.